first up start with the latest coming in from Maharashtra. The oath-taking ceremony for the cabinet expansion is underway in Nagpur. 19 BJP MLAs, 11 Sena MLAs and 7 NCP MLAs are taking oath to officially join the cabinet. There's also some drama that's being witnessed in the NDA camp. Shiv Sena MLA Narendra Bondekar has resigned as he's unhappy over not being given a ministerial position. So that's the kind of sentiment coming in on a day when we're seeing cabinet expansion in Maharashtra. These are live visuals coming in from Nagpur. I want to go across to Yasha Kotak joining us with more details. Yasha, take us through the latest, what's going on as part of the oath-taking ceremony, and tell us about the upset Sena MLA who's resigned over not being given a portfolio.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, when you speak of Narendra Bondekar, he has so far tendered resignation because he was not given a ministerial berth, in fact, a ministerial portfolio. Like you rightly mentioned, there are, as of now, oath-taking which is on at Nagpur, wherein several leaders from BJP, from Shiv Sena, from NCP, who are taking oath. In fact, the oath-taking ceremony is expected to take place yesterday, but today, ahead of the winter session of Assembly, which is scheduled to take place, which is scheduled to begin in Nagpur now, is where the oath-taking ceremony is on. When you speak of several leaders, right from BJP MLAs to the MLAs of Shiv Sena and NCP, there are in fact 12 MLAs who have gotten call from NCP, from the Shiv Sena, around 9 from NCP and around 19 from the BJP. But so far 777 is the number that is decided. In fact, when you speak of the MLAs taking so far, of course, there have been leaders such as Mitesh Rane, Pankaja Munde, who had gotten a call for taking oaths at Nagpur as of now. This, in fact, particularly comes in just as that there was a lot of drama ahead of oath taking of the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister when it comes to the December 5th oath taking that took place. So far, when you speak of key portfolios, that is something that we'll have to wait and watch to see who gets the key portfolios. There was a lot of discussions and buzz over the Home Ministry and the Urban Development Ministry portfolio, because that was a demand that was put in place by both by the Shiv Sena. But in fact, when it comes to BJP, did not want to really part ways or give that kind of portfolio to them. So yes, and in the upcoming session that will be held is where discussion over the portfolio would also take place. Yes.
Okay. Yasha, since you're tracking the story very closely and we keep up with these visuals, top dignitaries, including the Chief Minister and both the deputies on the stage as the oath-taking ceremony is underway, do we have a clarity on the portfolio allocation as yet to the different alliance partners?
So of course, there's not been a clear-cut indication given by any of the top leaders about the oath-taking, about the portfolio allocation that is to take place within all of these alliance partners. Of course, the buzz is that Finance Ministry would be given to Chief Pawar. Apart from that, irrigation is something that also could be given to him. These are the kind of allocation that is expected. But apart from that, when you speak of the Maharashtra allocation, 43 ministers are there. There are 35 departments. For NCP, the possible ministries could be finance, irrigation, power. For Shiv Sena, it could be revenue, PWD, agriculture. BJP would want to keep home and urban development with them. Was the buzz until the oath-taking would take place. But there were negotiations that were being held by the Shiv Sena leaders to get the home and the urban development. Now, if this is something that the BJP would want to in fact adhere to, is something that one will have to wait and watch. But all eyes in fact are on that Home Ministry portfolio. When you speak of the Home Ministry portfolio, what's also important to note is that in the Mahayuti 1.0, it was also mentioned. In Mahayuti 1.2, it was mentioned, both the Deputy Chief Ministers had finance and home. That is Devendra Fadnavis, who was Deputy Chief Minister and had finance with him. Ajit Pawar, who was Deputy Chief Minister, also had home with him, finance with him. Whereas the Chief Minister, party had education and other departments with him. So yes, now considering the fact that BJP has gotten a Chief Ministerial position, what's also important to note is that there's been a similar demand that was being made by the Shiv Sena, that is the Eknath Shinde faction, wherein they had asked for Home Ministry on the ground that it should be given to them. But here clearly when it comes to the first tenure of Devendra Fadnavis. He had the Home Ministry with him then as well, being the Chief Minister. So the defense or the fact or the point that's been put forth by these leaders is the fact that BJP would not want to allocate power centers between two different individuals. What's important to note here is that BJP would want IPS officers to be reporting to Chief Minister that there are no two power centers in place. So that is the kind of argument that's been put in place. But here, clearly in Mahayuti 1.0 was where Home Ministry was with Deputy Chief Minister, then that is Devendra Fadnavis, who's now the Chief Minister. So all of these are important points to be considered when it comes to urban development. That's also been one of the demands that's been put in place by Devendra by the Shiv Sena, because in Mahavikas Aghadi, urban development was with Eknath Shinde, and there's been a portfolio that's been there with them for a very long time. So these are key points of discussion, key points of contention that are on, and we'll have to wait to see whether there was any kind of there's any kind of discussions, negotiations that have taken place between the two.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.